YouTube, Down to Bricks here, and I'm back with another Millennium Falcon face-off. Now I think the burning question is, should I buy the new Kessel Run Millennium Falcon? Well, the aim of this video is to help you make that decision. So the way I'm going to break this video up today is, first up, we're going to take a side-by-side look at all these different Millennium Falcons. Secondly, we'll be taking a group look at all of the minifigs, and then we'll take a closer look at the different incarnations of Han and Chewie. And then, of course, we'll finish up with me giving my final thoughts and letting you know whether I think this was a worthy purchase and a worthy addition to my collection. Now, of course, this video has been brought about because of the release of the new Kessel Run Millennium Falcon. And of course, that is the white beauty smack bang in the middle, and that is 75212. It has 1,414 pieces, comes with 7 minifigs, and of course is the current 2018 release. And on the left, we have set 7965. That is the Millennium Falcon from 2011. It has 1,254 pieces and has 6 minifigs. And from that New Hope version, we jump over to the right side for our Force Awakens Millennium Falcon, and that is set 75105, has 1,329 pieces, 7 minifigs, and is a 2015 release. So let's get on with this Falcon face-off. Okay, looking over the 3 Falcons, the first thing to note is the build structure is virtually the same across all 3 Falcons. Now, it's been a pretty good method of building the Falcon, so no complaints there. Now we can see from the 2011 model, not as much greebling on the top there, so we have quite a few stickers. Now I did feel with the new Kessel Run Falcon didn't seem to be quite as many stickers, so let's just have a quick look at some of those stickers. Now of course, with all the vents and ports, we have stickers. We also have another sticker here on this model, and then the access ports at the front here are stickers as well, and that is a printed cockpit piece. Spit it out. All 3 of those are printed. Of course, this one is in white. And looking over the new one, now you can see that the greebling here is mainly made up of blue tiles, and I think that is a very effective look. And then on to our 2015, and just the use of a lot of the dark bluish grey here, it just sort of really gives it more of a detailed look without actually having more detail. Just the different colours, I think, really help bring that detailed look to this Falcon. And of course, if we just look a little bit closer at some of these sections here, there is a lot more greebling on this front panel here compared to the new model. Even the 2011 has more detail there. But then of course, each of these wedge pieces that make up the top of the ship have a lot more detail, like I said, with these blue tiles. And just having a look at the radar dish for each one here, of course with the Force Awakens we get the square dish, and we have the quad laser cannon, and the stickers here again, these are all stickers all around here on these ports. We do get stickers along this section here heading to the cockpit, a sticker on the dish, another sticker down here as well, and of course on the new one we get the single blaster cannon. You can see it's a little bit different on the radar dish. This one's designed more, even though you can lift it up, it's sort of designed to lay flat like that. No stickers across this section here, which I actually think is is pretty good. I don't really see the need to have the stickers. Again, we have the stickers across on the old model as well, and we have the round radar dish. Now, of course, each one has a removable cockpit, and as you can see that this is a printed display piece. Now, they're all very much the same. What I do like about this old 2011 model is that we actually have a way that they've built to try and make it look like the actual doorway into the cockpit. And now if we go over to the new model, we have what looks to be a drink machine there, so that's pretty cool. And that is a sticker for the display there. And then across to the 2015 model, and we just have a little bit of detail there, and again that is a sticker. But yeah, like I said, I really do like the look of actually trying to make out that there is a doorway there for the minifigs to get through. Now, one of the things I want to point out here is the front section of each of the models. Now, of course, you do have the escape pod on the front of this one, which does remove, so we'll do that in a moment. But one of the things I really want to point out, and one of the things, it kind of looks a little bit funny to me, is I guess it's not really that it looks funny, it's just that it is different. Now, if we have a look at this model here, the 2015. Now, the 2015 and the 2011 are identical in this section here with regards to the width. Now, if you look here, the width of this section comes a little bit past this panel here. But if we look on the new one, it's actually a little bit inside that. Now, it doesn't seem like it's too much there, but it's actually a difference of 4 studs. So go across and have a look, and you can see it's very similar in the width here to the 2015, but very narrow here, and it really does, it just looks, like I said, looks a little bit different because it is narrow. And the other thing that sort of highlights that is it's actually longer as well. It's about 3 studs longer. So between it being more narrow and longer, it really does give it that pointy nose to the Falcon. And I guess overall it is a pretty good shape. It does look really good, but it's just not something that I'm used to. And just pointing out with that is the new model, or the 2015 model, they are a little bit longer than the 2011. So out of all of these, if I get up and show you like that, I just really like the look of the 2015 model the most. And now removing that section there, now that really does look a bit strange now, doesn't it? I think it's taken that length away, and now they really are too short. And if you look at the 2 models there, it just doesn't look quite right, does it? So I definitely prefer the look of the new Kessel Run Falcon with this escape pod. So let's have a quick look at that. You can see the engines on the back, and it's a quite nice design considering they had to build it into the front of the Falcon. And that's a matter of just lifting the hatch forward to get to the interior. And again, we have a sticker in there and some of the cargo, so I believe that's going to probably play a major role in the movie. One feature to quickly show, if you want to get your minifigs into a TIE fighter blasting session, we do have our seating here for our laser cannons. Now that is the 2011 model. If we jump straight over to the 2015, this is a pop-up hatch, and you can lift out your platform there. Very basic, that one. That's a real letdown, that one. Let's just leave that there and flip over to here, and again that just lifts forward. And let's take this one out. Let's see if we can get it a little bit stiff, come out. And I've got to say, have a look at that. There is a definite improvement there. That really does look good. Now, putting that escape hatch back in there really does make it look a lot better. Now, one of the things to talk about is the gaps between each of these panels, and just looking over the three models, one of the things that's been talked about is how gappy this new Kessel Run Falcon is. But if you take a close look here, there's actually not a lot of difference to the gaps with the previous models. Starting over at 2011 here, you can see the gaps. This area is closed up pretty good. Now, to just note that each of these models here, the 2011, 2015, this rear section lifts up, and if we go over to the new model, that back section is actually fixed, and that probably gives one of the bigger gaps just here. But again, it's not a lot of difference. If we look over and just look on this gap on this next panel here, there's quite a big gap there as well. I really think the biggest difference is probably this section here. There is quite a big gap there. And if we go over to the 2015, very nice and closed up around here, again because of having this hatch that actually opens and closes. It sort of closes up quite good. This section here is quite closed up, so I think that's probably the biggest difference, is just this section here and at the back. But the big thing that really highlights that is, of course, the color. Now, the interior of this model here is mainly a dark color, so it's mainly black, and with these older models it's grey or dark bluish grey. So it's basically grey on grey, and I just think that helps hide these gaps a little bit. They don't quite stand out, whereas when you're putting white on black, it really does highlight those gaps. But as you can see, there's not a lot of difference with the other models. Now, one of the fantastic features of these Falcons is the way you can open them up to enhance the play value. And looking across each one, you can really see how the interior detail has increased. And just looking at that, it just looks like the 2015 still has the most going on. So let's go in and have a bit closer look here. Of course, we have our control panel down in there, and that is made up of stickers. We have our Dejaric board and seating all around here, so that is stickers all around on the seating. The hollow board itself is printed, and the hyperdrive, that is stickers there as well. And of course, with this model there's a lot of bits and pieces all around, just to highlight how long the Falcon's been sitting there. There's all sorts of junk laying around. And if we jump straight over to the 2011, actually looks quite plain, doesn't it? And again, just looking, you can see what I mean, just basically being grey all underneath. We have our hyperdrive. We've got a couple of stickers on the back. We have our Jedi training area, the control panel here, and that is made up of all printed pieces, so that's a definite highlight. Our board is a sticker on this one, quite basic in the seating. We have our access ramp here as well. Actually, that is a little cargo hold, and the ramp is over on this side here, and the same on this 2015. There's our cargo hold and the ramp. And now let's have a look at this new model. Now, I've got to say, with the black, so we have black, a bit of dark grey in there as well, but I really like this interior. So you can see we've got some crates up the back here. We've got a bit of cargo, and they are stickers. And we have the single hyperdrive. We have a bed section here. Got the bunk. Looks like we got a bit of a bar happening there as well. And if we jump over to this side, the control panel is actually around here this time, and that is a sticker, or a couple of stickers. And again, the Jarek board and seating. From down low, we'll be able to look at the different docking ports used on each build. If we go down low, you can see some of the Technic pieces used in this old 2011 build. We have the cannon underneath, plus a couple of missiles as well. And just one of the things to note from here, it's something I pointed out in the face-off I did with the 2011-2015, is just a lower profile from these new Falcons compared to this 2011 model. You can see the difference in the heights there. If we come across to these two models, they're quite low. I really do prefer that streamlined look over the 2011 model. And just looking at that, it looks to me that the new Kessel Run Falcon is probably a little bit more streamlined again than the 2015. But let's keep looking from the side here. Let's have a look at that side port. It might actually be easier to take a look over on this side. So just a little bit difference in the greebling, as you can see. And looking at some of the greebling along the sides. Of course, we did have the introduction of the spring-loaded shooters in this model, and just putting your finger down the access port there fires that one off. And again, for the Kessel Run Falcon, quite a clever way, which is just hidden just by looking like a bit of greebling, and that is your button right there to fire your spring-loaded shooter, like so. And just a quick look from the back, and the engine design is virtually identical across all three builds. And just note the gaps here, you can see on the side here, quite big here, and then it does close up quite nicely along the back section. And just moving along again, the big gaps here, and it is because of this fixed panel, we do have some bigger gaps at the back. And our 2015, again with the bigger gaps on the side here, and quite nicely closed up here. Alrighty then, let's throw the minifigs into the equation, and let's start with our New Hope version. Of course, we get Luke, Leia, Han, Obi-Wan, Chewbacca, and Darth Vader. For our new model, we get Chewie, Quay Tolsite, Lando, the operations droid. We get DDBD, we get Kira and Han, and of course the Force Awakens figures. Again, Chewie and Han. We get Rey and Finn, BB-8. We get the Kanji Club gang member, and Tasu Leech. Now, while we have them all together, let's get in with a bit closer look. I've got to say that these minifigs are probably, as a collective, are my least favourite from 2015. And on the flip side of that, the figs here for 2018, I just think are absolutely superb. I love these new droids, especially this operations droid. Have a look at that guy. That is fantastic. Lando. Check Lando out. Oh man, that is one cool dude. Quay Toll Site. That's a very interesting minifigure too. So overall, I just think it's a great selection of minifigures. I can't wait to see these characters in action in the movie. And then of course we go to the old guard, and I love these minifigs too. Obi-Wan is fantastic. Leia, another great minifig. And still my reigning favourite out of all these sets still goes to Luke. I absolutely love this Luke minifig. That is fantastic. All kitted in his training gear, and you do get his hair as well. So great minifigs. So my favourite, look, I still have to go with the old guard. I'm an original trilogy fan, and that's what I grew up with. So I've got to go with the old guard, but I've got to say these new figs aren't far behind. They are very, very nice. Now Chewbacca, over the years, I've put them in year of release. So I've got 2011, 2015, 2018. So I still really love the 2011 moulding. Big fan of the 2015 printing. But I've got to say the combination of a new mould and new printing for 2018, I actually really do love this new Chewie. Here's our larrikin, our scallywag Han Solo himself. 2011, 2015, 2018, and what can I say? They are all fantastic in their own way. Well, holy dooly, that was a stack of fun going over these Falcons, and it brings me now to my final thoughts. Now, I do apologise that I may have missed some of the features with the Kessel Run Falcon. This video is not designed to be an in-depth review rather than just an overview, because really this video is to try and help you make up your mind whether you should buy the Kessel Run Falcon for yourself, especially if you have either of these previous Millennium Falcons. Now, I have quite a bit to say about the Kessel Run Falcon and what I really love about it, but let's get the negatives out of the way first. And the first thing is the thrill of the build, because I just love the Millennium Falcon and I love building it in Lego. But I've got to say, it wasn't quite there for me, and I really don't know what to put it down to. It could be that I've just come off building some great sets, and look, I was a huge fan of the Jurassic World Lockwood Manor set, and that was a real highlight, that set, and then this was the next build after that. It could also be that it's the third time that I've built this Falcon, so the gloss could be wearing a little bit thin just because it is the third time that I've built a very similar style. It could also be that it wasn't that long ago that I built the new UCS Millennium Falcon, which just is an absolute fantastic build. So look, it's probably a little bit unfair for me to say that, because I guess it just comes down to how you're feeling at the time. But the big negative, and I don't like to normally harp on this in my reviews or my face-offs, and it's really the price of the set. So the price for this new Falcon, you're looking at £150, 170 US dollars, 170 euro, and 270 Australian dollars. Now, I know for the Australian price that's 20 bucks more than in 2015. So that set was $250. I do believe in US it was the same markup as well, another 20 bucks. Now, of course, you're getting the same amount of minifigs. Of course, you are getting a handful more pieces, but really it's not even 100 more pieces, so another $20. It's just really driving the price of this setup, and for a set that's really aimed at the young ones, it's really making it difficult for them to be able to enjoy a Millennium Falcon for themselves. Now for the positives, I've got to say the colour scheme. I wasn't too sure about a white Millennium Falcon when I first saw the photos, but I have to say it really does look good. The white and the blue I just think is very striking, and I've really come to love this colour scheme. And the other thing is the different shape. So the things I pointed out about the nose of it, it just gives it a quite different look to the other Millennium Falcon. So when you've got them all on display, this one does stand out to being a little bit different. And of course, as I've already mentioned, we do get a bunch of fantastic minifigs. So the answer to that burning question, should you pick up this new Millennium Falcon? Oh crikey, this is a really tough question. If you're a real die-hard Millennium Falcon fan, a real die-hard Star Wars fan, a real die-hard Lego fan, I've got to say probably yes. If you really want the minifigs, I say yes. But if you really love your 2011 or 2015 Millennium Falcon, I've probably got to say no. And I guess that's for two reasons. One, as I mentioned, the price. And secondly, it just doesn't quite capture that iconic Millennium Falcon look and feel that the previous two models do. So how do I feel personally about my purchase? Well, now that I've actually spent the money and I have got over that shock of the initial purchase, I've got to say, I really do love it. I do love the minifigs. I do love, as I said, I do love the colour. I do love the different look to it. And as a crazy nut Lego collector, I do love having it part of my collection. So really, it's a difficult decision that you're going to have to make. I hope this has helped you in some way make that decision. And whether it's yay or nay, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know everything you think. What is your pick out of all these Falcons? What do you love about the minifigs? What do you love about this new Kessel Run Millennium Falcon? Or what do you hate? It's all good. Let us know in the comments. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a future video. And of course, to do that, you also have to be subscribed. So I really do hope you have enjoyed this video. And I just want to give you a big thank you for taking the time to watch. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.